So we're going to talk about the case of Bob the Builder again. So Bob really didn't know how to approach his business exit. And his son Clifford was the main reason that his company had tripled its revenues and profits over the last 15 years. Clifford had come in and really taken the reins and done an excellent job. And even though he wanted to begin winding down his own involvement in the business, Bob didn't know how to keep Clifford motivated to continue to grow the business. So his retirement completely depended on Clifford's continued success growing the company. This is a very precarious position to be in. Bob has always wanted to transfer ownership to Clifford, but he knew that Clifford didn't have the money to pay him full value. And he wanted to begin transferring ownership now, but he also felt that it would be unfair to expect Clifford to pay full price because Clifford was primarily responsible for the success and the growth of the business through everything he had done over the last several years. So while Clifford agreed that his sweat equity should lower what he should have to pay for ownership, Bob knew that Clifford's stepmother and half-sister would probably disagree. Gotta love family. So even though they're not involved in the business at all. So Bob's agonizing over three different goals: his financial security, making sure Clifford's sweat equity is rewarded, and treating his wife and daughter fairly. They are his family. He does love them and care about them. He wants to make sure that they are taken care of. That's perfectly understandable. So like so many owners, Bob is equally concerned about his own goals and his family's wants, needs, and expectations. And he just doesn't know how to make everyone happy at the same time. So let's talk about three different things that he could do, should have done, can do in the future. Okay. And one is making sure that an exit plan process is focused on his financial security. Look, at the end of the day, it's his business. He's the one that started it. He's the one that put in the blood, sweat, and tears. And he didn't do this so that he could be poor in his retirement. He did this so that he could take care of himself as well as his family. So when he initially approached his exit, he only had one set goal, which was to transfer the business to his son. And he didn't know how much money he wanted or needed to live after the exit. He didn't know how much he was going to need to live on his own terms. And he didn't even know when he wanted to exit. So those are some very open-ended, very important things that he has to figure out. In my experience, the most important goal to set when exiting or creating the exit is determining how much money you will need to be financially independent after you exit. Then you basically take a look at where you are and you figure out what that gap is. And that's what we need to fill in. But if you don't even have that starting number of how much you're going to need, we've got an algebra equation that doesn't work. So any other, all the other goals should be considered within the context of his financial security, and establishing this first goal typically makes all the other goals happen.